Respected instructor, my dear fellow classmates, I am Hamid Karim. Today, coming on to my presentation on self-efficacy. The term self-efficacy refers to an individual confidence in their ability to complete tasks or achieve a goal. There are four main sources of self-efficacy. First, performance accomplishment, vicarious experience, verbal persuasion, and physiological state or emotion. Performance accomplishment is also referred to as personal mastery experience. It means how successful we have been with the task in the past. Suppose Cindy, a second level student, was asked to translate Pathamal tutorial for improving her writing quality. If she worked hard and was successful, her self-efficacy is very high. If she struggled with the task and felt she was unable to master on it, her self-efficacy is very low in this area, and she is less likely to persevere and work hard on this task because she has already decided that she is incapable of doing this. On the other hand, if Cindy perceived that yes, translation task is too difficult, still she put high effort and achieve success, her self-efficacy will be enhanced significantly, and she is more likely to exercise the daily study tutorial as well, because the writing for her further development, because the writing quality of the tutorial is much more difficult and high level in comparison with the Pathamali tutorial English version. Vicarious experience. Vicarious experience, which is when the learner observes others' experience and they are more impacted. Suppose if Cindy observed her classmates successfully doing the translation task, she's more likely to have a high self-efficacy in this area to do the task. On the contrary, if she saw her classmates struggling and failing at the task, Cindy's own self-efficacy will be lower because she is judging her own capabilities with peers' performance. Third source is verbal persuasion. If a learner is told yes, you can do this, and gives some helpful tips for doing any assignment or any appointment or any task, her self-efficacy will go up. Coaching can be a good example of verbal persuasion. The effectiveness of verbal persuasion also depends how credible the learner feels about the encouragement. It can be negative. Verbal persuasion can be negative. Telling the learner you are incapable of doing this can generate a doubt in the mind of the learner and lower their self-efficacy. Physiological state. Physiological state is also known to as emotional arousal, which a learner experiences, and how the learner interprets these feelings is very important, is very significant. Suppose Cindy was asked to come up with her presentation on any specific topic, and on the presentation day she has a butterfly in her stomach, means she is very upset or nervous. She is very excited or upset. So how she interprets this? If she labels these feelings as anxiety, which she might associate with failure, thus her self-efficacy will be lower. If she labels these feelings as excitement, which she might associate with achievement, in this case her self-efficacy will be significantly increased. And important points to note that if we believe that we can make 8 out of 9 IELTS band score, we will not be able to do so if we do not practice regularly and achieve necessary ability to do so. Suppose two students have the same ability. One student with a high level of self-efficacy is likely to perform at a high level than a student with lower self-efficacy. So having self-efficacy a little higher than actual ability is okay. Perhaps it is ideal because it leads to more positive outcome than lower self-efficacy. Unreasonably higher self of higher self-efficacy can be dangerous, can be problematic. Consider someone who has a high self-efficacy for driving a car as compared to his actual abilities. So if he would more likely to drive faster and get an accident than someone whose self-efficacy is more in line with his driving abilities. Consider someone students who have high self-efficacy in an area and are good at something, but they choose not to do that because they prefer to do something else. So we have to make decisions based on what we value whether it is uh, money or contribute to the improvement of society or something else. And we as a human being have to attain certain types of competencies for to sustain and to succeed in life. And it also varies substantially how effectively uh, people manage their lives. If and while I'll try to cover all the phases of life where new competencies and skills have to be developed. Familial sources: parents who are very reactive, who are very responsive to the infant's behavior, who create opportunities by providing enriched physical environment and by allowing freedom of movement for exploration, their infants effectively accelerate their cognitive skill. So the initial efficacy experiences are centered in the family. Third factor, and then peers are the major influence in the development and validation of self-efficacy. Those who are competent and experienced can provide a models of efficacious styles of thinking and behavior, and a vast amount of learning occurs among peers. So, and then school is the place where students learn, achieve, acquire knowledge, acquire problem solving skill, linguistic skill, and these skills are continually tested, monitored, evaluated, and socially compared. As children grow mastery on cognitive skill, they also develop a growing sense of self-efficacy, intellectual efficacy as well. And then adolescence. Every development brings with it new challenges for coping efficacy. As adolescents approach to the adulthood, they must assume to learn of to assume full responsibility to the to the every dimension of life. This require mastery, new skills, and new ways of adult society. How to deal with the juniors, seniors, faculties, emotionally invested partnership becomes a considerable importance. So these are the areas in which we have to develop, in which new skills and set beliefs of efficacy have to be developed. Transition to parenthood, certainly starts into adult. They not only have to manage the ever-changing challenges of raising children, but also to manage the extrafamilial systems, social systems like recreational, educational, caregiving facilities. Those who are very secure in their parental efficacy can shepherd their children to the phases of development without any problem. But it is trying period for those who lack self-efficacy to manage those extrafamilial demands, and they're highly vulnerable to stress and depression. And then adulthood. People do decrease as physical capabilities as people grow older. When the elder are told to use their intellectual capacity, their improvement in cognitive functions offsets more than the average decrement in performance over 2 decades. Finally, try to conclude with this. People, learners have to have a robust sense of self-efficacy to sustain and to succeed in life. Succeeding period of life presents new types of competency requiring further development of personal self-efficacy. The nature and scope of perceived self-efficacy undergo certain changes throughout the course of the lifespan. Do you have any question? I have taken this help from internet www.ilearnlot slash self-efficacy. You can visit and can learn more things about self-efficacy. Thank you so much.